Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Teno's the Human, and welcome back to our Western Empire Rebels campaign. And you join us outside Carnuntum, where the Franks have done us a bit of a favour. They've turned over one of the last two cities of the Western Empire, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, today will be the day where we become the Empire herself. Oh, it's going to be lovely. Thank you, Franks. Thank you for getting that job done for me. No idea why they didn't settle. It's not the best city in the world, but yeah, they're looking a bit weak to try and settle too many places at this point, so not necessarily the best choice by them, but you know what, it works in my favour. I'll happily settle for that. So what are we going to be getting done today? Well, we do of course need to get our forces ready. I'm not planning to attack the Eastern Empire anytime soon, by the way. The plan is very much to consolidate, build up the right force, and make sure we head off from there. We're actually lacking in experienced troops. There's very few who have survived it. It's been a bit of a mishmash of a campaign, which means that most troops have got themselves murdered at some point. We really are lacking any who have experience. We've largely had to work with the basic chaps throughout the whole game here, so sadly not too much experience going around, but we do have silver shields and silver swords over here in our lovely capital. So we've done some faction announcements. Sextus Rex, a nail from the True Cross, magnificent stuff. And Orator, he's looking very good indeed at this point. Look at that. Oh, Ashes of Saint Polycarp as well. Yeah, he is very strong in terms of conversion, and an Aryan thinker as well. So some very potent traits on him. We of course are going to be sending him eastward to try and make sure any pagans who aren't converted convert over to us. Naturally, we do have these chaps over here already converting the region of Salona. We're going to send Maximanus over here, the aptly named chap, over to join them in the conversion efforts. It's possibly why they've been having lots of rebellious problems here recently. Technically, it's pagan, but yeah, it will flip before too long. Alliance, Burgundy and the Western Empire. That's interesting. That's actually a good thing for us, because before we go and flip everything, there are a few things that are going to happen. So when we flip the switch, when we go and click on the advisor here on the show me how, what we're going to do is effectively give all our possessions over to the Western Empire and become the Western Empire. Now what that means is we're actually going to gain whatever they have left, which is Salona and these chaps. Now if they happen to be pagan, which as far as I'm aware they are, I have done a bit of spy work on them. But yeah, as it stands, I'm not really aware of any of them being Christian, so they will have to burn and die. But they will join me in the short term before I can get to kill them all. So we'll have to see how that goes. Can we see anything? No, we can't. So we'll just keep an eye on them, but they'll convert to us this turn anyway, I suppose. And yeah, we'll have to work from there. So it'll only be easy to flip over to Christianity, I think, with all of the people we've got. And otherwise, we're just prepping ourselves for the war. The Eastern Empire is not something we're going to take on straight away. Indeed, we will take over the diplomacy of the Western Empire. So we'll be allied with the Eastern Empire. They are allies once more. I think they might be neutral for a time, but they're not anymore. Burgundy are also allied, which is interesting for me. Flips around what my allegiances are here. So the Franks are at war with them, of course. To be honest, they've largely burnt themselves out, I think, here. So I'm not too worried about them. Perhaps actually this guy's better spent keeping an eye on those chaps. I think that would be very sensible indeed. So a few bits of basic infrastructure going on around the world here. Go and get ourselves an academy. I'm just trying to pump out academies and towns because we're getting some incredibly powerful results over in Rome and Ravenna with scriptoriums and yeah, particularly what have we got here? The Ludus Magna, yeah. And I think also mixing in the abbeys and the Christian basilicas, we're getting all sorts of very interesting little retinue. In order to prepare for this, then I've had to take all of my armies out of the towns. And actually, we are a turn later only because I had quite a few first cohorts and I think some heavy onagers over here. They also needed to get finished. So we're one turn later, but now we've got all of our armies out of the town. That's mainly because essentially what's going to happen is we are going to flip these over to the Western Empire. Any units inside would be wiped out. So unless you want to kill off our entire faction, probably best that we send them out of the town. So that's what I've done. The other thing that's going to happen is the game is going to go through like an end turn or two just while it processes what's going on. Now that means that we're going to have big problems with public order when we flip around, because they would have had a turn where they're all going to be miserably unhappy with no garrison, and the unrest is going to drive them all crazy. So we might actually be better stood going around all the towns and actually putting everything on low tax rate just to try and minimise all the problems with public order that are definitely going to come up as this happens. Yeah, we're going to have big problems in one or two of these towns. So if we can, I don't know, I can always sacrifice some of these peasants in fairness just to try and maintain public order. Because any units I leave inside, as I said, are going to get wiped out. So maybe we can throw in some foederati. You know what, we'll hire these mercenaries. They can hopefully just do the job. Perfect. Yeah, anything inside the towns will be wiped out. But yeah, the unrest effects we're going to have from leaving these towns rebellious is going to be horrendous. So the more we can make sure that they'll be fine during this end turn, that'll be magnificent. So I'm going to get that sorted out, and I'll join you for the great click of the button. We are officially ready then, ladies and gentlemen. It's interesting, actually, having taken out all of these garrisons, you can see how little difference garrisons seem to actually make on this game. There's so many other factors in terms of public order, because they're actually all just about all right. They're almost always on miserable disillusion face anyway, and having taken out the garrisons, I can pretty much keep them chilled out, mostly of course by putting on games. But it's interesting, isn't it, just how much the all these other factors pay into it on Barbarian Invasion. The public order really is an utter mess to try and keep control of. Nonetheless, it is time to get going then. We're going to click on the show me how button. It's going to flip everything over, and there we go. It's worked out pretty nicely for us. The old order collapses, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sic Transit Gloria Mundi. The old order has been overthrown, and of course we are saviour and not a revolutionary. You know what, I can go with revolution, but actually it's not always a good idea to call it a revolution, because that often means that other people get ideas. So we've just taken over. All is fine. All is absolutely fine. And the Eastern Empire and the Burgundians have gained an alliance. That's cool. Now we're in a big alliance with them. We'll see that, yes, as I said before, we are going to inherit all of their diplomacy. It's just mean the Franks over here are a little bit of a potential problem. So we'll have to see about that as we go on. Very interesting indeed. New Frankish leader. Right. This is the slight inherent problem. We've declared that we are the Empire, and that kind of means that this guy over here, the old Emperor, is sort of still saying he's the leader. So we're going to have to go get him killed. Not sure exactly how we're going to do that. Probably throw him into the Franks would be a good idea. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to gather all of the pagans, all of them, and we're going to start throwing them straight into those chaps over there, those Franks. That'll be lovely stuff. So you, sir, you're the other pagan that we can see. Marvellous stuff. We'll get all of these troops. Actually, to be honest, these mercenaries are dead. They might as well go home. You, sir, what are you? You're right, and you are all right as well. Okay, we'll send those down to Salona. At the moment, actually, this is the faction leader himself. Actually, that was the factionaire. We need to go and deal with all of this. Yeah, so there's all of this nonsense that we need to go tidy up. In fact, before you do that, are there any good retinue on you two? No, none at all. Go and get yourselves killed then, chaps. Go and die to the Franks. This guy, however, there's quite a lot of good stuff on him. So I'm going to send these gentlemen over to... we are up with the rebels again, aren't we? Okay, let's see what you can do, sir. Yes, good old Tub-Tubs, Maxentius himself, Maximanus even. Let's take him out. I think that rebel was called Maximanus too. Interesting. So yeah, he just dealt with that, no problem. Didn't even gain experience. It was that uneventful for him. So yeah, we're going to get used to our new colour, bathed in red, the red blood of our Christian brothers, of course. Now, good old Basiliscus over here. Salona is actually rebel, which is interesting. I guess it's because they got thrown out and it got turned over to rebels. I forgot that was a part of this little flip over here. So yeah, we'll get these guys to meet up. We'll, of course, take all of his retinue off him, and then we'll go throw him to the dogs. So, Master Infantry. Ooh, lovely. We definitely want that of him. Priest Solid Victus. Influence. You know what, we can do that to keep people happy, I guess, but it's not really what I want. Drill Master. Lovely. Tribune of the Plebs. Nice one. Spy Master. Always good to have. Okay. That's grand. We have a plan for all of that nonsense. Now, over back in our cities then. Back in our cities, we have, I suspect, a lot of problems. And why is that? No governance doesn't help. Yeah, unrest, because we've obviously left all of the towns for a turn. Now, once we enter the city again, they should be chilled out. They are just about. Okay, I'll have to go around and deal with all of that nonsense very, very soon. I have actually managed to get this guy over here. Just a word of warning, if you do this yourself, anyone on boats will just be killed. So, or at least the generals. I think the agents would live. See, I've managed to get this guy who was over here in Trenton. He's come over to Carthage. So I'm going to have to do a bit of organising to try and make sure everything is sorted out. Obviously, for some reason, we seem to have got... No, don't know why that was on that then. Yeah, we might have to go and do some slightly ridiculous things for a few turns. So we're going to have a bit of upheaval and whatnot. Now, there's quite a few odd things that are going on here. I obviously need to go and sort them out. Another weird thing you might notice here is I can't save the game. Which is... this is great, because we still got the old flag here. The game thinks we are playing as the Western Empire Rebels, obviously, or that's how we started the game. This is actually just a bit of UI. This doesn't really correspond to who you're playing as, per se. It's just kind of set from the start of the game. Now, the problem is, because we started the Western Empire Rebels, if they don't exist, then we can't save the game, because the game is confused. It doesn't think I'll be able to save, because I don't exist anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave Tara here to go and die a death. So did I leave the troops in there? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I guess I did. So over here in Tara, I know why it's gone on to auto manage everything. It's because the computer took over for a turn. So the computer's reset everything in all these towns. I have to do an awful lot of management to go and sort this out. Now over here, I want this to rebel. I want this to become the Western Empire Rebels city. Partly because, well, it's not part of the Roman Empire anyway. We might as well be true to that. We don't want it. But it's also a nice place to go and leave the rebels. We need them to be able to save the game. And over there, they're isolated. Nothing they can do to get in our way. Obviously, before that, we're going to go and smash up everything. Bit of money for us, of course. So overhead men users. But we're going to break it all. And that obviously will give us a bit of money. Won't destroy the church, we'll leave that. Anytime you want to stop breaking my ears. Thank you very much. So yes, yeah, I'm going to go around all the cities, sort out all of the nonsense that the game has done in the one turn. You might also find troops aren't where you left them, because sometimes the game decides to send them on a little journey. It depends how the game wants to do it. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, and the game does lots of ticking when you go and activate this event. Now, one thing I was going to say is, obviously, I've done this before when we played the Eastern Empire Rebels as well. And what I didn't do in the guide to the West or the Eastern Empire is explain how I do any of this. So, I am looking to do a guide video for showing how you can flip around back from the Rebels back to the main Empire. Because obviously you can't kill the Empire. If you kill the Empire, you will lose the game, and the game ends, and blah, 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 blah. So, yes, we have a slight problem with all of that. So, I want to do a little bit of a guide of how I do exactly what I've just done here, and how we're going to try and make sure these that we can complete these campaigns. Because it's all well and good giving you a guide on how you can play it. Obviously, if you can't complete it, it's a bit annoying. The main reason I hadn't done it until now was because... in parts, I didn't understand it that well. I don't really want to do a guide when I don't have a full understanding of what I'm doing. I need to feel confident with it to make sure I don't make stupid mistakes. I don't want to misguide people. That would be much worse than not really guiding them at all. But I think I've got a better understanding of it now. I've done it a few times, and this will be relevant to any of these factions that are basically the rebel version of a faction. Basically like these, or indeed like the Baron Alliance on Medieval 2. So... Hopefully you'll be able to join me in future. The only reason I hadn't done it in another way, actually, the second reason was simply that it's a little bit more complicated. I essentially want my guides in this game to be kind of guides that people can follow. Essentially, you know, fairly simple, fairly accessible. So I didn't really want to make this complicated guide that no one could really follow, and I wasn't really sure of myself. I feel much more confident myself in being able to explain it now to make it a bit more simplified. But I also think if I'm going to be playing this a few times, I might as well make sure I show everyone how to do it for themselves. So that guide will come out at some point. I don't really have a time for it right now. Hopefully not too far in the future, but I am not 100% sure. I haven't really got it penciled in, but it is certainly in the woodworks. Hopefully I'll find it isn't too complicated and we can make it work for us. So I'm going to go around and mop up all these cities to make sure everything's organised, and we'll try and figure out where we go from here, because at the moment we are going to spend a lot of our money, I think, on trying to fix a few of these problems. So yeah, I'm going to get organising, and I'll catch you when it's all sorted. Everyone is back in their cities then. Most of them are pretty chilled out. We are having to put on a lot of games right now to make this work. It's just going to be a few turns unrest. The main problems are Salamantica, partly because we seem to not have an army there. Don't really know what happened. Maybe I forgot to move them out. But sometimes the AI does weird things with your troops in the kind of interim when you click the sort of show me how button. So we'll see. We'll see if we have too many problems over there. This part of the world is really struggling. We don't have like any generals over here, so I'm going to have to start shipping them over. Hopefully we won't get any rebellions. Obviously I can't save. I can't make sure nothing stupid happens. We're going to end our turn and hope that nothing weird goes on. Now we are obviously at war with the rebels now. So yeah, all of our fleets are about to get utterly annihilated. Should have put them in the port, but I forgot about the rebel ships. Trade rights with the Saxons. Yes, of course. Why ever not? Lovely stuff. Why didn't they have trade rights already? I don't know. Must have. Oh yes, they are. We're just recently at war. So that's all well and good. Civil disorder all over the place. Yeah, that's not the best. Did I ignore Lepsis? I ignored Lepsis Magna. Of course I did. Everyone always ignores Lepsis Magna. It's just a terrible, terrible, useless place. So we will put it on to low tax range just to make it chill out a little bit. Don't have the money right now. Don't really know what our financials are. Apparently really bad. Really, really bad indeed. So, okay. We'll have to see how we can deal with that in the coming turns. We can obviously go in and nab Salona for ourselves. So, we'll go and do that. Exterminate the population. That is indeed a lovely, lovely temple. Even damage, it's worth 1,000. Lovely stuff. Smash that up. Christian, please. And that'll have to go into daily games as well for the moment, which is a little bit unfortunate. You don't need to retrain, though. You don't need to retrain at all. Mines. They haven't even got the mines up. That is absolutely insane. So what I'm going to do is, actually they've done a watchtower here. The game's been weird about it. Possibly because they just took this territory. I suppose that's kind of fair enough, but equally it's not. So Violentia has died. That's a massive shame. I don't know who she was. We are the largest faction. End of term report. Blah 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 blah. Christian shrine. Recruitment report. All is well. Good. Salona. So what we want is Tara to go and flip over. So nothing weirdly. We haven't actually had that town smashed up. The rest of it seems to have survived that old conflict. Probably a big part of the problem is we've immediately got a load of rebels to go and clear out. So, as the old order ends, we're going to have to pump out troops. Yeah, part of my money is just in, trying to rig the whole system here with all of the troops. So, I might have to do a similar thing here. It's not going to work. Can't actually afford enough to do it. Bit of a shame. And Nova is okay though, so I won't worry about all of these peasants being lined up. What we'll do though is just get a couple of units, because we're clearly going to need units in this part of the world. Get the Sarmatians, and there must have been some spare generals around here doing something. We're going to need to get a bit of a warm-up. Right, I think then, Sextus Rex, we are going to have to find someone who is a great young prodigy to join you. What we're going to do though is take your army out for a bit of a spin. So we've got ourselves some first cohort here. They are going to enjoy their time. Got some Palatina. Marvellous. In fact, we'll just get those to join you. Privatores. Everyone can go and grab themselves some experience today. Some hippos, some Sarmatians. Lovely. Got some chariots. We've got some Ungers. And in the town, we can try and chill them out because they were pretty happy with him in control. They'll be chilled. Now we've got these guys to look after them. Get some Catholic actually, no, it's not worth wasting the time with those. Got onagers coming out here. Only place we can get heavy onagers, I might as well get them. So, You set march your army north. You can go and grab these chaps as well. It ruins the order I just put, but oh well, it's not the end of the world. We're doing some archers though. Pathetic little archers these. What I could do with in many ways is one pagan temple, Vicus Frankie. No, that's for experience, isn't it? What I want is the +3 to missiles, which normally the Saxons have. So Campus Frissi. Maybe we'll have a little spy on that. I wouldn't mind someone just to train up those lads. Ah, you guys aren't bad archers. And neither are you. Okay, you know what? At some point you've clearly got that bit of training on you. So we're going to send you down to Medulanum. Well done, sirs. You get to join the Royal Force. We obviously do lack when it comes to archers. We don't get the Eastern archers. We only get the basic lads. So there's not a lot we can do with all of that. You sir, head yourself back to Londinium. Marvellous stuff. We do have an assassin over here. Should probably make use of him. So you, sir, Steve of Essex, get yourself over to London. That'll be magnificent. Hopefully the fleet won't kill us. Actually, there's a good chance they will. Tell you what, we'll just get you into there. Maybe try and retrain because we could probably do with it. No, we don't have any money left. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. We're going to have to keep a close eye on all of the places we've got the games going on. See what we can afford to loosen up a bit, because it's a huge amount of money, by the way, in daily games. I think it's 800 a turn for daily games. So if you can turn it down to yearly, it's going to save us an awful lot of money. So we're going to need to do that. I've got a lot of building projects. I could cancel some of those, but I'm really I'm a bit reticent to do that. So what we need to do, we need to sort out the rebel problem, because we are now at war with the rebels. That has been something that's been on our side, but they obviously feel betrayed, which I think is fair enough, to be honest. We might as well get some more archers out of here. Make sure we got some troops set up. Syracuse was rioting, but it's chilled out a little bit. Salona is fine in the meantime. Fine, the killer can just head in that direction. These troops can just head down to Salona. Hopefully the Eastern Empire isn't too annoyed at me. But I didn't really have any choice in them being in that territory at that point. And, yes, these chaps. You need to get yourselves killed. So maybe we'll try and kill one of you at a time. Let's see how we go with that. Faction leader, not worth trying to kill him. 29% on Italicus there. Ooh, very nice. Well done, sir. Let's kill these Franks. Don't want them to continue in the game here. So tell you what we'll do. We'll head into their faction leader. Ah, we can't reach him. We'll take this guy instead. We'll get into battle. We'll try and get them killed. Let's go. We're going to throw ourselves into these guys to start us off with. We haven't actually got into a battle here today, so might as well enjoy a bit of a little fight here. Chunk down our hit points. I'm sure they'll be able to... We've killed their general. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to beat all of this lot, to be honest. But it should weaken us out before we get to the main chaps. So, lovely work. Yeah, they've managed to do this by themselves. Well done, lads. Well done. Please, let's just chop away a load of Franks. It's a good way to start off the battle. I do want to get rid of them, in fairness. Probably should have prioritised killing the generals like I was going to do. But, you know what? It's all fine. Where are the next set of troops? There are a few over here. Don't think we'll be able to take out that general. But we can give it a go. Get yourselves to the hill, lads. That'll be magnificent. Too many troops over here. Is there a general? Yeah, there's a general. Just charge into him. Just go full pelt into that guy. Hurrah! Where are they going? I don't know. So what I want to do, see if I can put in their paladin lad. I feel like I'm playing Age of Empires when I see paladins, but there we are. Right, you said pull out. I don't need you both to break. That would actually be a bit of a problem. So lovely. He can get himself killed. That'd be magnificent. He's now fleeing. He'll probably get himself murdered. The ideal thing here is he dies, but then the rest of their bodyguards rally themselves a bit later and on the line, but they seem to be ignoring us completely. The raiders are charging us down. We are shaken, panicked by fire, is it? Panicked by fire attack. How he's getting away, I don't know. Just keep running. Keep running. I don't want him to break until one of them dies. He's going to have to fight now. Hopefully he'll hold a little bit. He's shaking, wavering. No, we're not going to get him killed here today. We're going to just do a bit of damage to them. Oh no, he's back! He's back! Yes! Yes, one of them can die. One of them can die. One of them can die. Split this up just a little bit. He's dead. He's D-E-D dead. Now that means you guys pull yourself out of there. Rest of you, get out of there. Get out of there, which means we can kill the other guy now. No! Ugh. If you just managed to get away, sir, we could have got your friend killed. They are very fast, those horse raiders, aren't they? Very, very fast indeed. Okay, you're just going to take them on and hope that the other guys regroup before you do. But I don't think that's going to happen here. Nope. Nope.
But our Roman glory lies in tatters after this defeat.
Well, that's one of them down, if nothing else. A few kills on the Franks. Can't argue with that. Not bad work. So that's one guy dead. This guy is... yeah, he's a bit weak right now. Heroic death for Oppius Servianus in Noricum. That's a shame, isn't it? We never wanted him to pass away at all, did we? Now, obviously there's not a lot I can actually say right now, which really puts me at unease. It's a very stable game, my experience, this, but I don't like this. Okay, I need to get one of these rebellions happening soon so that I can actually save the game. So I'm going to end turn. Ah, not the one I wanted, although Tara has gone as well. So Dimity and Tara have flipped. I'll be honest, there's a good chance I never even touched Dimity. So there we are. Okay, we've got ourselves rebels. Oh, look, Burgundii, who are allied with us, immediately attack us. Saxons piled in on us. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, all of these have had problems. So, unfortunately, I don't really have enough here to win this battle. We have a lot to deal with, don't we? Okay, so we can't win that. We totally can't win that. So what we're going to do is give the rebels... I mean, this is the thing. When you declare yourself emperor, there's still going to be those few pagans sitting around who want to fight back, aren't they? So, Western... oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Everyone... I mean, Alemanni are dead. Okay, the game is a bit confused there. All sorts of nonsense is happening right now. Okay, Eastern Empire are going for Carnuntum. It's a bit annoying, but not the end of the world. Okay, you, sir, head yourself around there and go take on Wallia. Go take on their faction leader. That'd be marvellous. Betrayed by the Burgundii. Indeed. Heathen scum. Sahara. There's been a flood in the Sahara! Wow, it's a miracle! Oh no, that's a sign for them, isn't it? There's been a flood in the Sahara Desert. And it's flipped over to their side. That's a bit worrying. Okay, Marcellius Hortensius. I do like this chap. He's getting on a bit now, though, isn't he? Imperium Minor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's got some good retinue. We're probably need to pass some of these on. Splinters from the True Cross. He's also got Splinters from the True Cross. Apparently, we literally just have full control of the True Cross. Lovely stuff. Okay. Ravenna has itself some more legionaries that we're going to give you, sir. So that's now 6 legionaries. Some Palatina. Okay, maybe we want one more Palatina in here just to finish it up. Spy in there. It'd be lovely. We need a couple archers. Then, to be honest, we're kind of pretty set. I mean, we probably don't need all of this in terms of siege equipment, but you know what? It's all well and good. That's fine. And you can sit around there. Grand stuff. So, Augusta Varorum has been put under siege. I don't know what they're planning to achieve from that. We will utterly destroy them. And just to check, yeah, we can now save the game. So, because the rebels exist, we can let them get on with it. It's entirely peasants. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you let the city completely get destroyed of infrastructure. Destroy the military infrastructure, it can't produce the units that will hold you back. So, minus 10,000 monies now. This is not good at all. Yeah, we've got to re-stabilise everything now. This causes quite a few problems, doesn't it? Okay, let's start with guys that we potentially can take out, such as these over here. I'm going to go and take a little force over to this. They've got virtually no infantry. So to be honest, I'm happy just taking that. We can't afford anything, obviously. Can I send one more unit out? Send the Federatis out. Yep, they're chill. Let's go then. Let's take on some rebels. It's time. Go take out a load of these chaps that are in my way. Archers getting their shots in. Of course, if we can get some good experience on them, we can always send them to one of our main armies before the Eastern Empire inevitably stabbed us in the back. So we'll shoot them down as much as we can with these guys. If they want to come in properly, they are welcome. We will get them all slaughtered by our lovely powerful cav and half-decent infantry. So that'll be grand. I don't really want to start charging in case it causes some issues, but if we large, yeah, they're broken anyway. That's all fine. We'll just leave them to run. Shoot them down, archers. Get yourself lots of juicy experience. Pretty much all the arrow fodder has gone down at this point, so we'll just get the last few of those peasants gone, and we'll go take up the general. I'm pretty certain our general will just take him out himself. So let's move this line forward. Forward, sir. We'll go and do that. General, if you move yourself over here, that'd be magnificent. What we're going to do is just throw those javelins in from the committances that will finish off these guys. Throwing in javelins to the last 25 peasants, not really worthwhile, but that's all fine. Right, General, get yourself in there. General, it's all for you to finish at this point. So, charge yourself in. In comes some javelins, and you can hold off and just pull back for the moment. So you guys just get around the rear just to try and convince him that he's in trouble. Bodyguard won't last very long. Here we go. So we'll just sort of wander around them. Chop, 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 chop. Bit of experience for everyone involved. Are we actually winning this? Just make sure we win this. There we go. Just to make sure. I didn't want to lose my general. Didn't want to lose an infantry either though. So lovely job. No one really killed. Just a few bodyguard generals. Don't really matter. Archers apparently gained experience. I'm hoping so. It's always good when you can get them just to continually shoot away like that. So, 2 experience for 1. That's absolutely fine. Now, if we continue to march along here, we can perhaps try and join up with some of these other guys, and we'll go and deal with the rebellion in time. Now, I did discuss them as being filled with pagans. At this point, we're not really fighting the pagans. All of these are very Christian cities, of course. What we need to worry about is, just the fact that they don't necessarily agree with our new regime. So, okay, bit of building work going on. I've done a lot of sewers and quite a few Christian temples and shrines because they're pretty good in terms of just boosting the happiness a tiny bit. So, everything else starting to chill out. Hopefully money will come to us in time. Our main force is kind of getting built here in Rome. It's going to be very expensive, which isn't helping, but it's the only troops I've really been training until the old flip around over there in Spain. So, yeah, this army just needs to get a bit of experience, get a bit of blood on its sword. It's got some very good armour, but it isn't experienced at all. None of our experienced troops have really survived through the game. So we'll have to see what we can do. We're out of money at this point, so yes, let's get those troops safely down there. The Burgundii have been dealt with. Vicus Franki, I would like that in fairness. It's not a bad little town. And to be honest, I could do with just completely merging the Burgundii off the face of the earth. So that is something that we'll also do. I think then, time to sally forth over here. I don't think this will be a complicated affair. Sadly, we aren't allowed to use the Oninger. They have 2 berserkers, 2 left from that horrendous battle earlier, a few turns a couple episodes back. Let's head out. I'm amazed they want to do this, if I'm perfectly frank, but they do have some high experience units here. They have 6 berserkers. Shoot them down on sight, lads. Shoot them on sight. We have ourselves Onagers that won't get out of the city. Quite a few archers. This should be fine. Let's go. They're fleeing on the sight of us, which isn't really surprising, seeing as we've got this ridiculous line of Plumbatarii, Palatina, archers, clear victory. Why did I waste my time? My infantry, poor beggars, etc., etc. I would have rather have killed you there, lads, but that's fine. You know what? We'll go and stand on the bridge instead. We will go and leave, I think, those 2 chaps in the city. Actually, it's chilled, surprisingly, so that's not too bad at all. Let's go down the bridge. Bit of an odd resolve over here in North Africa, and surprisingly, it went my way. I wasn't really expecting that. They're going to give us another poke this time with the general. To be honest, I was just trying to pull these guys out so we could get on with good old war, but no, they seem to be taking us on, which means it's probably time to go and chop his head off. So let's hit in, kill this chap. In comes the general then, 40 of his finest German bodyguard. In come the javelins, and they've turned their back straight away. Perhaps the javelins can do some damage. Not by the looks of those throws. Those were terrible, lads. Okay, get yourselves around there. Get yourselves around there, spearmen. Try and pin them in. We're going to start throwing the javelins. Obviously, the guys hidden at the back there might as well start showing themselves. Get everyone in. Surround them as much as possible. Foederati aren't going to do the world's best job, but they will at least do something. Get yourselves in there and around the back, sir. That would be most marvellous of you. The general's actually already fleeing, and we're not going to be able to pick him up. That's a bit of an annoyance for me. Come on, we want to kill him off. There he goes, chopped down. Luckily, he fled straight through us. The game goes victory there, and I kind of wanted to chop them all down. Ah! This happened last time, didn't it? This is another unforeseen problem by doing this. You no longer get to continue the battles. You have to just accept the automatic victory like the AI would, which is an odd thing. But there we are. We managed to kill him within the 10 seconds before victory was announced. That means he's killed. The Saxons have... Well, that was a very sudden crash. After all that, the Saxons have declared war on us instantaneously. As we might well expect, the money is in the toilets. We're going to have to go and sack some towns very quickly. I'm guessing barbarians will need to get burnt to the ground. So they've got themselves golden weapons there. But other than that, they look kind of terrible. So it's not the best force in the world. Some Saxon Herf troops who, not too bad. But we might have a few problems yet. Rebels standing on our towers, not ideal. And these guys are going to go squat by the bridge. So, time to send our general in to go deal with them. Diplomatic information. Saxons are now at war with us. The Franks at war with the Eastern Empire. Is that because of Carnuntum? Not obviously. I don't know. But, Smyrna is Eastern Rebels, which is intriguing. Yes, okay. That's straight under siege. That's probably not going to affect us too much. Wouldn't mind getting some nice friendly diplomatic ties with them. I think Salona will somehow be Christian by this point. Look at that! Characters itself is 65. There is, of course, the one pagan chap over here who is going to pass all of his lovely retinue over. So which of these guys is the most interesting? 26 with an abbess. You, sir. You have lots of things. Very poverty composed. Okay, quite a lot of stuff there. Tedious speaker is a bit unfortunate. But certainly you are a decent manager, even if you're going to lose out on a bit of the influence. Trade income's up. Yeah, our poverty is really bad for the trade income. So whilst he has got good management, he's not actually that good of a manager because he's going to lose us a lot of money. Bit of a shame. Perhaps then we're better passing some of these good chaps onto someone else. What have you got? You've got Abbess and etc. etc. Okay, yeah, the problem is we're losing a lot of trade income due to some of these retinue. So, yeah, a few issues going on between all these chaps. I would say Stern, that increases bribe, superstitious. Okay, we're sort of getting a bad balance here. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take Basilicus. We're going to pass it most over to Secundus Silius over here. I like that. So you, sir, take the infantry. Pontifex. Oh, see here, he's got some great stuff for that. You know what? You can be the war leader, sir. Quite happy with you to lead the troops. Actually, this guy isn't bad for leading the troops either, is he? Yeah, you know what? He's not bad for it. So maybe actually you, sir, can lead the troops and this guy can maybe run the town. That's going to be better, I think. Lovely stuff. So, yeah, we'll pass over that chap over to you and the drill master and the siege engineer. That would be magnificent. And from this guy, we'll give him more of the influences. I know we don't really want to be thinking about the fact that that is a priest, a pagan priest, but it's all fine. It's all fine. We can send Pontifex. +2 to law. Lovely. That's also brilliant. Fantastic. This guy is going to be ridiculously good for us. Right. You, sir, you've been given a few things for command. That's fine. You're probably one of the better ones for that. You now have some influence, though, so you can look after the town. So, you three chaps, Let's have a look in the city. Do we have an academy? We don't. So there's no point in any of them hanging around here. So we're going to take those 4. We're going to send them out. We're going to get on with that. That's his army. He can look after them. Send these guys up towards the borderlands. We can deal with all of that nonsense very soon. We'll send you, Mr. Pagan, in that direction. And we'll sort them out in good time as well. Lovely. So some good retinue has been nabbed off of these pagan fiends. Spread them out. We've got a couple guys there set up for their next couple towns and things. So faction announcements. We have lost a spine Vicus Frankie. That's a bit unfortunate. We were going to go and attack that soon. Hortensius is continuing to gain all sorts of good things like the mining engineer. Definitely need to get those guys sorted out. In fact, one of you is possibly less bad for managing a town. Perhaps you, in different builder, +1 to Squalor. No, that's not particularly helpful, is it? -1 to Squalor for that, though. Okay, he can head off in that direction very soon. So remember to send Maximanus, Mr. Fatty, down to Tarentum. That would be marvellous. I keep on saying marvellous, I do apologise. And lots more gain for this chap in Rome. There's so many nails from the True Cross. This is glorious, glorious stuff. But you know what? You get some good training over here. So leave people in Rome for a couple of turns. They get fairly good. Ravenna, we can definitely turn off all of your games at this point. So yearly games and races. I say that it might have to be monthly. Monthly will do for the time being. -20,000. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to go smash up some of the towns. To be honest, probably starting with this one. So it seems like, surprisingly, okay, seems like surprisingly we'll be okay for it. So we'll start heading in that direction. These chaps, I don't think they could have won that themselves. That might actually just flip back to us. So tell you what, sir, let's get you to stand on this mountain here. Maybe we can get you to come join the city in a few turns, should we need the opportunity handed to us. Now, see, your job was to go and lay some brutality on these lads, but maybe not at this point. Maybe you just need to take... Actually, to be fair, no. We need to go to Spain either way. So take yourself in that direction. We'll send someone else to go and look after Carthage, and probably it'll be that chap over there. So this fleet can get itself over there. Hopefully it won't get attacked by pirates, and all will be good. So, next plan is money. Money, money, money. We need that big time. And to do that, we need to clear off the rebels, and we need to go and smash up one or two of these towns. So, Campus Frusi and Vicus Frankie are definitely the two I'm thinking of. We can obviously go and deal with this as well. Tingi Tangiers, as it would be in modern world. That needs to be burnt down to make everything better. In the meantime, we're still getting some troops coming out of here. Might as well leave all those troops on, because that's basically money that we couldn't get otherwise. So we'll just let that tick along. You, sir, how are you getting on? Nothing too good on you in terms of trade. Okay, so we do have a couple ships over here. Keep them together. We might be able to pick off the odd set of ships as the opportunity comes to us. Tyrus settled down a little bit, maybe. I don't know, but they should really put their troops in there. I don't want it back, thank you very much. We'll have to see how that goes. Possibly to do with their capital being all the way over here. Okay, before we get into that main battle with the Saxons to finish us off for the day, I think it's time to go and Sextus Rex take his army to go and deal with some rebels. There are actually some more hidden back there. There's Aurelius Perseus, who is a Christian, but he is a rebel nonetheless, so he'll have to go down. Mostly trash, absolute trash, but they'll probably be on a massive cliff. We do, though, have heavy onagers to shoot them from a distance, and obviously the ballista too. So, with their mass lack of cavalry, yeah, 3 general cavs, and nothing more than that, fine. We'll get the ballistas, we'll get the onagers, we'll give them some lovely target practice. Let's get going. Obviously, we're not going to completely destroy the army just with these 2 onagers, but they are picking up experience, as you can see here. If they want to stand back, it is basically some free training, and where these guys get really powerful is with the experience. Now, they're a little bit ridiculous on Three Kingdoms, as I think I discussed in the previous episode, but on this they are pretty terrible at aiming until they get experience, but they do get good with the flaming shot as the experience goes up. So we'll just try and re-aim a little bit, see what else we can pick off. I'm going to start. Ooh, good hit on those guys at the back there, even if it isn't what you're supposed to be aiming for. Look how terrible these shots are. Missed them completely. fine. Time for the ballistas to start heading forward a little bit. See if they can do some hilarious damage together. Start running forward. How much is your range? I don't think their range is actually all that good, to be honest. So we'll grab the forces apart from them. We'll just reorganise them. Get these guys just to move forward. Perhaps onto the little hill here, actually. There's a nice hill about there. So we'll get those into that position. Get them to start moving forward. They're doing all sorts of weird things in terms of their angling, their positioning. So if you go shoot those Foederati, that'd be lovely. And you shoot those Foederati, that'd be magnificent stuff. And oh yes, you can see their shots coming through them. They do not like it at all. Oh, it's a sad day when we have to shoot the rebels, but they don't see us as their friends anymore. They don't see us as the anarchy. Of course, we are realistically the Christian anarchy, but they don't have it. They won't have it. So time to shoot these guys down. Spear Warband might as well start getting shot as well. They are happily taking this. It's like the original Rome Total War before any of the early patches where you just sat and shot them with range units and they would do a thing. It was funny. Glad they patched it, but it was fun. Ooh, they seem to be reacting at long last. Okay, in that case then I'm going to send all of my lovely ballista chariots out to the flanks. They can just stand nice and wide. You, sir, just... No, don't kill our own troop. Right, stop shooting. Stop shooting. Okay, javelin should be coming in. I don't think they're going to do very well against our lovely legionary first cohort. And that is that general completely cleared out. Unsurprising, really. Completely unsurprising. So if we go and send you back out, just go and chop those down personally. That'd be grand. If you can actually get out properly out of our troops and you can go back to ballista him. Lovely stuff. Magnificent. And yeah, they're gone. So don't actually worry. They're actually just sitting around. We use our missiles as much as possible. I want to get some good training done here today. Horse archers are joining the fun, of course, as well. We've got all of the toys in this army, apart from some actual good, normal, standing foot archers. But those peasants getting javelined by Matensa's first cohort. That's 120, well, 240 odd javelins coming in at them. They're not going to like it. That killed actually your brother, sir, didn't it? That killed your brother not too long ago. At this point, they are not in good shape, are they? They're not in good shape at all. Let's start marching our men forward at them. See how they like that. Ballistas are getting a bit low in ammo, but look at this. The experience has gone catastrophically high already because it's done by numbers compared to the amount of people there are. So yeah, the amount of kills they got per person is really high, which means their experience is already ludicrous. That's good to know because yeah, this is essentially just some training. These rebels at this point of the campaign are proving to be quite useful. Quite useful, all things considered. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn you guys off. I'm just going to send those Sarmatians to go and clear off those lads over there. You guys start shooting at someone different. That would be lovely. And yeah, these guys, if you just want to make sure we're not shooting our own men, that'd be lovely. I don't really want you to be too close to our own men. Don't shoot through them. I know they're pretty darn stupid if you don't. If you give them the opportunity to kill our own men, they will. They absolutely will. Apparently you lost someone. It might be that the archers shot someone, I don't know. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's go and get our Sarmatians back to the main army. And if there are any javelins left, they're going to come into the rebel general here. To be honest, Sarmatians, yeah, get yourself out here with the general. Just a little bit worried. Yeah, that general's going to start causing some problems. So we'll just send in what we've got over here to finish them off. We'll just break them with our peasants. And the rest of the army... Ah, don't kill them! Oh, we've just javelined our chariots again. Oh, well done.
The enemy's hearts are full of fear and
the chariots really aren't meant for this world sometimes, are they? They're really not meant for the world. Right, so both the chariots back over here. Just go and get yourself safe. Thank you very much. Right, all infantry, get in over here. Clear them out. General, mop them up. A few unnecessary deaths here, to be honest with you, but that's absolutely fine. We expect the odd little pick off of our men, but yeah, about 8 Sarmatians, a couple of these guys. Hopefully they'll recover because it's only missiles. Yeah, see what I mean? I got no option to continue that battle. It doesn't matter as it's rebels, but it does limit your chances to gain experience by mopping up random troops. does mean more of them often get away. Not on this occasion, but yeah, we lost some of our lovely chariot ballistas there. So probably send those 4 back home to Rome to get retrained. And yeah, they're training onagers. They don't have the money to train any more ballistas right now. So yeah, any injuries I can't really recover. It's a bit annoying. Oh well, good little run out for these chaps though. Nothing gained for most of them, but a bit of experience for the onagers. Can't argue with any of that nonsense. Right, now into the last thing for today then. Last thing is to clear off these Saxons who are besieging our city. Now, actually, this isn't the best force I've got here. Do I want to head out at them with what I've got? You know what I probably could do with reinforcement force, actually. So, if I go and send my general, stand on the bridge there, I kind of need you as well. Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll send reinforcements from Londinium. That's probably the way we're going to have to do it, I think. So, we'll grab you. We'll grab a nice pile of forces. To be honest, though, you've got a lot of cav, so we'll use those. Send you down to Kent. We can put that on daily games. They will be chilled about all of that. That's fine. We'll send you over here. And to be honest, it might take a couple of turns. It's going to take a couple of turns. Fine, we'll just have to sit in for a moment and see what happens. I'll tell you what. What's the odds resolve like? 1-1. Okay, not too great. And he is currently on 70 years old. Yeah, he's not going to survive much longer. Okay, we will leave that. We'll leave that. We'll send some reinforcements, but I don't want to send the chaps from over there at the moment. Just a bit concerned about that old problem. A new turn then, and Tara annoyingly has flipped over to us, which is a bit irritating, isn't it? So I've disbanded all the troops in there apart from these two. We'll go and get this guy killed. He is a pagan, no retinue of interest. We will get on with that. Now, as for over here, Colonia Agrippina, my assassin has failed to take him out again. He was 20% chance, a bit unfortunate. You can see that he has got himself a bit of equipment. And I'm just trying to check how much infantry he has, but certainly it's a decent amount. Might struggle to hold him out. I think we could win that, but it's definitely going to be tricky. So I'm sending a few units over from Augusta Treverorum over here, and we're going to go and try and reinforce. Now just make sure we have some forces for this turn. Only thing is, probably a good idea to go back into the city and look at which is the best gate for us to be standing at. So yeah, we'll pop into the settlement in a moment. Let's get an eye at the roads before we do. So there's a road to the west, north and east. It doesn't always fully represent itself on the map, but we should be able to have a decent idea. And if there's a river, it should be to the north-east, forest to the south. Okay, with any luck, we'll be able to see that on the map. Let's head in. Okie pokey. So we've got ourselves a road over here leading into a bit of a forest. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. There's forest in every direction, and the game isn't obviously plunking me down with any north, south, east, west nonsense. There's a road over here as well. So one road, two roads. If there's one on the other side as well, that should make it nice and clear. That'll be the one they're coming from. But yeah, don't know if they're going to represent that properly. There we go. So there's a road over there. That seems to be where they're coming from. They'll be coming from this road, the east road, or the west road, sorry. So that's the north. That's the east, and that'll be the south. There isn't actually a road down that end. There shouldn't be. So they're going to come in from here, which is a bit annoying. It's actually a fairly good way for them to come in, because it's minimal walls. So they're in a fairly good position to just come in and walk straight up here to my plaza. What I need to do then is figure out which gate is best for me to rush in to assist. It's probably going to be this one over here. Lovely, because it's only a size, a level 3 sort of walls. So we could come into this gate, and yeah, cavalry could get around the back of the infantry, and we get our infantry around to go and support and get to the plaza. Okay, that's probably the best. That side over there is probably too far away. Yeah, that's going to be miles away to take us forever. So we need to get over to the north rather than the east gate. That's fine for us. So yeah, if they want to come in, they've got to come up here. So we can try and block this up, and yeah, okay. We've got to try and hold the walls. I don't think it makes sense to kind of fall back too much. We're going to have to try and hold the walls best we can, and see how it goes. Fighting on the plaza might be a good idea though. I don't know. But if we can get the reinforcements in over there, I think we'll be absolutely fine. Alright, back on the campaign map then, and so we definitely need to be heading around to that spot. That spot right there. Perfect. Okay, we're now in a good reinforcing spot. We don't have any, we can't afford anything, Thomas. Of course you can't afford anything. So yeah, nothing more I can do in terms of getting reinforcements to him. Can't get these guys around. Actually, I can get the cavalry in. So yeah, if he wants to do it this time, I will have all of that cavalry in for support. So 3 units there. Yeah, okay. Actually, I can control all of it apart from 1. Okay, that's interesting. So I can control almost all the forces. That is good. That's very good indeed. Fine. If he wants to come in, I reckon we have him under control. Now, cavalry can come smash him. These guys can get themselves in the city. Get yeah, just make sure we've got the plaza covered in case they come all the way through. That'll be fine. Now, that'll obviously be next turn if they want to do that, but it's probably a good time to leave it, ladies and gents. Tara is flipped back to us. Not what we wanted. That's the one we want to remain. And we have Tingy under siege. Dimity we'll see about in time. We do have reinforcements heading this way in the form of Constance Pedius, who I quite like. He's a decent enough young chap. We'll see if we can get him to do something next turn. Right, well, we flipped to the Empire. It certainly brought problems. Certainly brought a lot of problems. Yeah, you can see the unrest problem has become so huge, and that has destroyed our economy because we are having to put on games in way too many places there. We just need the unrest to settle down, and to do that, we might well just need to batter up a couple cities en route. So Campus Frissi, Campus Frankie, probably going to go down very soon. In fact, if I'm honest, I'm just going to besiege it immediately. Let's just get some stuff. Some general stuff. Did I get 2 rams there? 3 rams? I don't want 3 rams. Let's just see what we can actually get in a sensible manner. Thank you, Thomas. That will be fine. I actually prefer the ladders to towers in general. It's a bit quicker to get them up. Take a bit more damage doing it, but that's okay. You can be a bit more flexible with the ladders. I prefer that personally. Fine. So, Vicus Alamanite, before we finish then, it's time to send your troops. Mine is probably just the 1 unit, please. 1 or 2 units, however many it takes to keep it happy. Yep. Annoying, but we'll try and get the balance right here. What do you want? Just get rid of the Plumbitari. And 1 more unit of, I don't know, just send their Palatina back. Okay, we'll send someone from Vinda Decorium to work that out. Next time then, we'll take out this little force here, try and reinforce the region. We're going to smash Vicus Frankie, we're going to smash Campus Frissi, but to do that we're going to have to hold out in Colonia Agrippina first. So I think we'll be fine, but it's going to be interesting. Interesting to say the least. We could have a few problems yet, but at least that one's a bit settled. But yeah, our army is getting ready for whenever the East attack us. A bit of target practice in the meantime. We'll move on to our next little challenge very soon. I will leave you. I'm Thomas. This is To Nose to Human, and this has been, well, now the Western Empire campaign, but formerly of the Rebels. Thank you, and goodbye. Death and violence will come to you. This is a beautiful, beautiful town, by the way, guys. Let's go and smash it up. Dum tum ti 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 ti. How did you die? What is happening to my men? Steve! He was the one man who tried!